Good afternoon, everyone. This is Team Zambia. Today we'll be looking at charcoal burning as it is a threat to human and wildlife. So this report has been prepared by Modesta, Winfrida, Melvin, and Tongo. Right. Zambia is a landlocked sub-Saharan African country sharing boundaries with Angola, Botswana, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe. It is a developing country and has a total surface area of about 752,614 square kilometers and lies between latitude 8 degrees and 18 degrees south and longitude 22 degrees and 34 degrees respectively. So the figure below shows the location of Zambia in Africa. As you can see, it's located right there. According to a UNEPA report on national strategy to reduce deforestation and forest degradation, Zambia has an estimated deforestation rate of 250,000 to 300 hectares per year. Drivers of deforestation range from wood fuel, agriculture expansion, mining, timber extraction, bushfires, land and infrastructure development. Deforestation and forest degradation is the highest contributor to greenhouse gases, GHGs, emission in developing countries, including Zambia. These GHGs are responsible for global climate change. In 2010, the country had 22,400,000 hectares of tree cover, translating to over 30% of its land area. In 2020, the country lost about 163,000 hectares of tree cover, which translates to 7.27% of its trees. So as you can see, right here we have a table that shows the percentage of trees cut, and we tried by all means to do some study and some research just to find out how much trees will be cut in the coming years. So from 2010 to 2020, 7.27 trees were cut. Then from 2020 to 2030, 15.1% of the trees will be cut. Then 2030 to 2040, 22.7% of Zambia's trees will be cut if nothing is done about it. On average, a mature tree absorbs around 21.7 kgs or 48 pounds of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. And Zambia's savanna climatic conditions supports around 1,200 trees per hectare. And if 163,000 hectares were cleared of vegetation, this sums up to 195,600 million. Sorry for that value. This sums up to 195,600,000 trees cut down. This is equivalent to 49.7 metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions. The total carbon dioxide emissions of Zambia is estimated at 33.5 million tons per year. This is quite alarming and a threat to today and future generations. Zambia has been experiencing adverse impacts of climate change, including an increase in frequency and severity of seasonal droughts. Sometimes we do experience dry spells, increased temperatures in valleys, flash floods, and changes in growing seasons for the farmers, that is. All these terrible conditions mentioned above are related to climate change. So looking at the problem drivers, or the reason charcoal is being made or trees are being cut down, we have energy source. Charcoal is used as an energy source, so people do cut down the trees for that reason. It's a source of income to the charcoal burners or the guys producing the charcoal. And scarcity and high cost of electricity in Zambia. Zambia highly relies on hydroelectric power, but sometimes this hydroelectric power is unavailable due to varying water levels in our water bodies. So what exactly is the impact of this? So the first point we have is migration of birds and animals. So when trees are cut down, birds and animals are forced to migrate because the natural habitat has been disturbed. When at times when animals move, they end up in human settlements and are killed. So the second point we have is changing weather patterns. We all know that trees play an important role when it comes to weather pattern, climate control. So when trees are cut down, the weather patterns are disturbed. The other reason is extreme temperatures and soil erosion. So we also try by all means to look at the solution to this problem. So our first and best solution is switching to briquettes, for the fact that charcoal use cannot really be stopped to a certain degree. So since it can be stopped, what we can do is find an alternative. And an alternative to charcoal is briquettes, which is a better solution. By definition, a briquette is a compressed block of combustible biomass material. Briquettes are easy to make and usually require materials that no one really needs, like sawdust, maize husks, grass, etc. So the figure below just shows a sample of a briquette. Briquettes vary in form depending on the modes used. Due to high charcoal production, Zambia is one of the most important countries at global level when it comes to deforestation. At the same time, it can provide solutions based on alternative sources of energy. The use of briquette blocks can reduce deforestation caused by charcoal in Zambian homes. So we also looked at solutions. So how is this going to be implemented? So the first thing that we looked at is mindset shift. So under mindset shift, what we have to do is educate the local people on the importance of briquettes, on the advantages it has over charcoal, because for example, briquettes burn longer than charcoal, they produce less carbon dioxide, they produce less sulfur. So those are some of the advantages of briquettes. We have to sensitize and educate the people on all those advantages, including the effects of deforestation. And the second way of implementing this is by teaching new skills to the local people. We can easily teach them how to make the briquettes. Briquettes aren't hard to make and don't require so much machinery. So we also looked at the operational costs to meet the demand in one of the 10 provinces, which is Lusaka. Lusaka being the capital city, it holds the biggest population of Zambian citizens. So when determining the cost of briquette making, the major things to consider are raw materials, land, or usable space. So what we mean by land or usable space is the land that will be used during the manufacturing process, machinery, and the cost of making briquettes. So this is just a simple table that shows the approximate sums or values or amount of money required for us to implement this project. So for the mods, we need an approximate number of 30. And to get these, we need a sum of $826. Then for raw materials, we need 1,000. For marketing promotions, these include adverts, sensitization. So we need $2,500. Then for transportation, be it transportation of material or the finished goods, we need approximately $2,000. Then the total adds up to $6,326. All right, so we also looked at the barriers that we would face during the implementation of this project. So for example, mindset shift, how would we combat this barrier? So this would be overcome through sensitization, education, and marketing on the advantage of briquettes. So we'd have to educate each and every citizen on the benefits and the advantages of using briquettes. The other barrier or challenge would be finances. So finances for the expansion would be a challenge because this product has to be promoted on an international level as well. Because climate change won't affect Zambia only; it will affect the world as well. So this product has to be implemented in many countries. So finances for this implementation will be a challenge, and this barrier will be resolved through proper funding. In order for this project to be sustainable, factory machine is a huge requirement. Learn to set up a factory and research on markets in neighboring countries. All these have to be looked at. A factory is a huge requirement because we want to produce these briquettes on a large scale and help other African countries that use charcoal as their energy source. And we have to study the market as well. Thank you very much for your attention. So peace and freedom being the theme of this project. When it comes to peace, we're talking about saving lives. So if we use briquettes instead of charcoal, we'll save lives because deforestation will be reduced, and the effects that charcoal has on climate change will be tackled. Then when it comes to freedom, we look at the financial aspect. If this project is well implemented, so many people will be empowered and will be given jobs and will be economically dependent. Thank you very much for your attention.